everybody, and welcome back once again. Here we are with another edition of Inside the Headset, and it's week 9, game 9, and I'm with the head coach, Philip Shadowens. Coach, we are on Monday, and I've asked you to film this a little early. I will talk to Coach McDaniel. Both of them will be released at the same time on Wednesday, and make no bones about it. You played Friday night. You played against Smyrna. You're a place where you spent many years and did a lot of work and built tradition and did a lot of things. Can you just take a little bit about that game and kind of what happened? It just seemed like I was over at Laverne, and I don't know. I mean, I guess Coach Williams or the kids got together at Smyrna and had a good plan, and they came out and they were ready to play.
Sure they were, and we expected that as coaches. We expect that. I'm not sure our kids expected the same. You know, you try to make sure your kids understand that and respect all opponents, and I'm not sure they did, but not taking anything away from Smyrna. I thought Smyrna played really well, especially defensively. I thought they played really well, and it was kind of a battle of defenses. You know, 7-7.5. We had turned it over 3 times in the first half, put our defense in really bad position throughout the half, and we gave up a 22-yard run for a touchdown. Other than that, I think they had 46 yards of offense in the first half. You know, so. But you can't turn the ball over. So we allowed that to happen from an offensive standpoint. We were really our defense worst enemy because we kept giving the ball back. So, but I was certainly proud of how our defense stood up and played. It's kind of like they've played all year long, really physical football, and so it kind of went back and forth. And even in the second half, we come out and score opening drive and then don't put them away, allow them to score. They missed the extra point, made it 14-13, and then I thought the biggest drive of the season, first time we'd really been challenged at that stage of a game, took place where we took the ball, drove it, 70, 75 yards, whatever it was.
Kept you honest right there, just seeing what you got in you.
And drove down and scored and went up by 8, and then was able to put the game away, with a last minute score or whatever to put it away. But it was a great battle for 4 quarters. Both teams played exceptionally hard. Very physical ball game. We had to overcome some adversity, and we're able to do that.
Kids are a little bit different than years ago. I know years ago you'd say, well, I kind of knew that it looked like they were a little sluggish coming out. Did they give you the appearance they were sluggish coming out, or are kids just the same now and it's just hard to read them? Or
I thought it was a little unfocused, just leading up throughout the afternoon. I don't get overly caught up in all that. I mean, kids listen to me. I mean, they're different than what I was as a kid, and as far as getting ready to play,
we have Walkmans, Coach.
Right.
And,
so it was a little different. I mean, but so I don't know. I mean, there's no big signs that said, hey, this is what's going to happen tonight. But we've been told, from everybody in the world that this was a trap game. I don't believe in such a thing. I think you play once a week, and for us, it's and for us and them both, it was the first game in 2 weeks because we had fall, coming off fall break, and there's never an excuse not to be completely focused on your opponent, and so maybe it was that, and I think some of it was the fact that Smyrna played really well, and combination of those things, and it was a good ball game, and not really a surprise if you look at who's beat Smyrna. It's been now the top 3 teams in the league.
Yep.
Smyrna was leading late in the second quarter against Oakland, 14-13. And at halftime, it was 16-14. Against Siegel, it was tied. I think relatively in the third quarter sometime. Yeah. I can't remember exactly. And then Smyrna turned it over and did some things at the end against Siegel.
They ran out a little gas right there. They were on a roll right there.
Right, and so I didn't expect anything else,
Right.
I expected us to execute better than we did.
Sure.
But I expected it to be a battle. I mean, they're a good football team. I said that all along. For whatever reason, people think we didn't have any respect for Smyrna. Well, that's never been the case. I was there for a long time. I mean, that's not very intelligent.
Yeah.
So we did respect our opponent. Did we play like we wanted to play? No. Did they compete like they wanted to play? Probably not. That's part of football. That's it's a bunch of kids playing a game of football, and so every night's not going to be a perfect night, and inevitably you're going to have to overcome adversity to get through the year, and so our team did that, and we won the game 28-13. We're 8-0, 1-0 for last week, which is what our goal was. Looking forward now.
All right, now let's get into it. Let's roll up our sleeves. Guy across the way runs a program called the Oakland Patriots, and you run the Blackmon Blaze. I look at it like this. This is two teams, 8-0, students and kids playing a game. But the big thing about it, I guess everybody else has discussed every angle they possibly can, but, you know, the kids you've got walked into Blackmon, and then the kids he's got walked into Oakland, and, you know, you don't have a chance to say, let's go visit this guy in this home and let's see if we can get him to come play at Blackmon High School. I mean, this is a really cool scenario, and talk a little bit about that, just, you know.
Sir, you get the hand that you're dealt. I mean, that's the bottom line in high school football, and the kids that live in the Blackmon zone are the kids that come to Blackmon High School. And luckily for us, that group of kids has worked extremely hard to develop themselves to being where they are today. You know, as a football team, as a group of kids. You know, a bunch of kids that nobody had heard of before the year, that wasn't getting recruited by anybody. You know, obviously we have Jawan Jennings, who's been recruited by a lot of people, and Antonio Allen has been, you know, offered some things. Other than that, we haven't had an offer to any kid on our football team to go to play college football. So what we have is a bunch of good high school players that have worked their tails off to put themselves in position to make this game meaningful. You know, to make this game a deciding factor in who's going to win the district championship and who's going to be the number one seed and for the playoffs in our quadrant and all those kind of things. That's because of a lot of hard work, a love of each other as a team, a commitment to excellence. I mean, we can use all those kind of terms, and you could probably, when you talk to Tommy, if you hadn't done so yet, he'll probably tell you the same thing. It's a group of kids at work, and to be successful, a couple things have to happen. Number one, you have to have some talent. Especially in this league. You know, you're not going to be at 8-0 in this league playing the schedules that he and I both
with 6-foot linemen that weigh 200 pounds.
I mean, you got to have good football players, first of all. But at the same time, you have to develop those. I mean, our job as coaches and our staff's job is to develop kids throughout their 4 years here, both physically, mentally, hopefully into young men that are going to be great citizens one of these days. I mean, you know, that's our role. And we're talking about it from a football standpoint, it's a simple role of working to get bigger, faster, stronger. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you know, as a personal role, we're trying to get those kids to grow up and be good young men. And football's a great teacher of all those things. So Thursday night, what you're going to find is two good football teams that play with a lot of passion. I think both teams are probably coached with a lot of passion. I know Oakland is, and I know our staff coaches with a great deal of passion. Both teams will be well prepared. I have no doubt about that. And it'll come down to, you know, how the kids play. It'll come down to turnovers. It'll come down to all the things that every other game comes down to. It's nothing different. From that aspect, it's just another football game that comes down to the same thing it comes down to every Friday night, or in this case, Thursday night.
Well, you know, and fundamentally, it'll come down to that too. You two both will always say it'll come down to one or two plays, and that'll probably be the one deciding factor. And it'll be, and it may be on one or two guys, but it'll be a team. But at that point, it'll be, you know, a human factor involved in it, and that's where kids have to learn that you got tested. But the great thing about this is, no matter what, you both possibly could see each other again, because I guess Krager drew it up, and he posted some kind of early predictions if we had ended. And regardless of which way it goes, it doesn't matter. Guess what? If one of you's going to win and one of you's going to lose, then guess what? A couple of weeks from now, one of you's going to be hosting the other one and going to do it again.
It could very well be a two-part series to this thing. You know, everybody talks about what kind of game it's going to be and how close it's going to be and all those things, and that might be the case. It might be, you know, 17-16 or 14-13 or 3-0. Who knows what it'll be? But everybody thought the same thing about Clemson, Florida State on Saturday night, and you know, I think games can go a lot of different ways. You know, for Florida State, they fumbled the first play. For Clemson, they fumbled the first play of the game. Florida State got on a roll. Clemson was not able to respond to that adversity for whatever reason. They're a great football team, but they couldn't, and got beat 51-14. You know, it could be that. I mean, it could be they make big plays and we don't respond and they kick us. It could be we make big plays, they don't respond, and we kick them. Or it could be 28-27, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So I think these teams are pretty evenly matched. If you look at the matchups, you know, individually, you know, you look at, you know, this lineman versus this lineman, receivers and D-backs and all those things. You look at all that and you see, you know, a lot of things that are equal. So with all those matchups, you think it'll be a close football game. You think it'll come down to fourth quarters and all that kind of stuff. But you talk about kids playing the game, or college kids playing the game, or the NFL cats playing. I mean, you just never know how a game's going to turn out. Football is a game of momentum, and if you get momentum and can sustain that momentum, then you can have a big night. If you lose momentum and can't find a way to turn it back around, you could have a really bad night. So what I think it's going to be is two teams that'll be well prepared, that'll be really, really physical with one another, and I think that'll have fun playing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you say, well, I don't know about all that having fun stuff. Well,
why are you doing this?
We play the game. I hope our high school kids play the game. I hope anybody who's playing the game does it to have fun. Obviously, when you're getting paid millions of dollars, maybe it becomes more of a business. But for us, we do this because we love it, because we have fun doing it. That's why our kids play. And I tell our kids, if it ain't any fun, don't play it, because it's too much work if it's not any fun. So I think you'll see a bunch of kids, a couple hundred kids between the two schools, jumping around, having a good time, playing the game. And when the horn blows and the whistle blows to start the game, you'll see a bunch of kids trying to be physical with one another. Something I'm really looking forward to. I think it's a great test for both of us. I think it kind of tells you where you're at. I mean, I understand that Oakland's one of maybe the best team in the state, but one of the top 3 or 4 for sure.
Right.
I think Tommy would probably tell you that Blackmon's
maybe
the best team in the state, but
one of the top
3 or 4. Yeah. Right. I think that I think both of us would say the same thing. Both our teams are one of those few teams who have a chance to win it.
Exactly.
At the end of the year, and that becomes how the ball bounces and all kind of things to win a state championship. But Oakland's one of those teams that has a chance to do so. I think we're one of those teams that if the ball bounces right, we have a chance to do so. And you can add 3 or 4 other teams to that probably in the state that have a legitimate chance to win it. And so when 2 of those are going against each other, you feel like it's going to be a great one.
Let's one last thing, and I'll let you kill that call, and then we'll wrap it up. Please talk to the fans, because I think we're going to have a lot more people. If it was just the 2 teams and that was it, but there's going to be a lot of energy in the stadium. I do wish you would say something to the fans and to the parents and to everybody about how you want the Blackmon community to go over and be sportsmen through the whole thing. I mean, I know you
never really had that problem. Right,
but you want to reiterate it as my boss always says. It's time to reiterate something.
I think both fan bases will be excited about playing the game. Oakland and Smyrna. Oakland, when I was at Smyrna, we had some great contests. Oakland and Blackmon, since I've been here, have had some unbelievable games. Last
year was great.
I mean, and nothing's ever happened. Nothing's ever happened that's not been the right thing, I don't guess. We've been excited to beat them. When we beat them over there, I think my second year, we beat them in the last seconds over there. When they were ranked number 1 in the state, our kids were excited, but I don't think we did anything incorrect. Last year, they were mighty excited to win, stop us on the 1-yard line there at the end of the game. They didn't do anything wrong. They celebrated with each other.
No,
absolutely.
Play the game.
I think the thing that I think our teams respect one another. Our students are going to be students. Their students are going to be students, and and that's all about being kids. But I don't expect anything to happen but a lot of people being for their own teams, and I'm sure Tom would tell you the same thing. It'll be a battle for 48 minutes, and it'll be a physical game for 48 minutes, and after the game, we'll walk across there, shake hands, and say maybe we'll see you later.
All right, let's wrap it up. Okay, so that's over at Ray Hughes Stadium, Thursday night TV game. We always say this, but I can't stress it enough. There's only one game in town, and that'll be at Ray Hughes Stadium. Blackmon Blaze, Oakland Patriots, be there.